Welcome to the Talent Outdoor Show. I'm Charlie, and I sure am happy to be here today.
Yes.
Go ahead, JD.
Hey.
Yeah, that's JD.
I'm JD.
Yeah. Charlie, yeah, I'm Fred. Charlie did a funny right before we started.
Yeah.
It was like wit that you see every now and then.
He's been planning that line
No,
since
it just
yesterday.
popped in
Yeah.
my head. It popped in my head, and there's Captain Paul Tyler.
I'm here.
And the reason everybody's
And
happy,
we are
We're
excited.
happy because guess who's back in the studio today?
Can I do
It's
it?
your boy.
Our executive producer, his co-producer, his subordinate producer, who has been me for so many weeks.
Which is
Sucks.
such a nice.
Actually, you've gotten better and better every time.
The problem
Yeah,
is,
I quit losing whole shows. And
Grant, you don't understand. I mean, I had to sit there and look at him, and he just gave me this stink eye the entire show.
We've learned
'Cause
not to
he's
look
like-
at the timer.
And then he starts being like a producer Nazi and ordering us to shut up because he's trying to.
oh man, it's just and try to be part of content and to produce. That's terrible. You know,
That was not fun. We're glad you're back.
Good to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Glad to
Well,
be
It
back.
glad to
it's
hear
a lot
about
better view
everything.
from this
Everything's
side of
good.
the table.
Yeah.
And the thing is now I can actually think about what I'm. Anytime I would talk, I would be thinking, okay, how much time? And then Fred's looking over there, eyeballing the screen, looking over my shoulder.
Yeah.
And then starts doing weird stuff with his fingers, like he's trying to count down in reverse or something. I don't know what he was doing.
I couldn't remember the signals.
Yeah,
so I
the
just
signals you taught us.
I was trying to do the signals, and I don't know.
I came up with a great I'm terrible with stuff, but a greeting card, birthday card. Okay.
Okay.
You know, for people who are old.
All right.
Okay. Age is just a number, and yours is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I like that.
I thought it was funny.
There.
I wouldn't give it to anybody I love, but I'd give it to somebody that I knew that I thought would get the job. No, so we came in. So I'm hoping that this other endeavor that's going on, we may be promoting another what do you call podcast and whatever coming up soon. I won't get into it too much.
They were already promoting it on the radio this morning.
Okay,
they
well
were?
then there's going to be a new podcast produced out of this studio and
Out of this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole reason we're talking about it is
Oh.
because you know
T-Spark.
Grant's
T-Spark
expanding
Construction.
his realm of.
But it's going to be a show about roofing,
Yeah, and I said, and the funny thing was, I said, you won't get it, it's over your head,
which was
and we
pretty
all
witty.
thought that was pretty funny.
It was.
Well,
I
it could
accused
be
him
a
of
show
having
of-
planned that since yesterday when you were
No,
talking
I just
to him.
came up with. I mean, it could be a show about off-grade housing that's 3 feet tall, and it'd be over Fred's head. I mean, it could be a show about basements, and it'd be over.
So, I mean, how much is there to talk about?
I don't know. I'm
Not
anxious
about our
to see what.
podcast.
I'm anxious to see what.
I'm gonna
Travis and
listen
them
to
are
it.
gonna
Yeah,
talk
I'm going to
about.
listen to
Me
it too.
It's going to air the hour before our show, I think starting the last Saturday of this month.
But it's going to record the hour after our show, so it's going.
That's going to be weird.
Well,
So-
so
All
I'm
kind of time
going to
travel
hear it,
going
but it's
on.
probably from across the hallway while they're recording it.
All kind of time travel happening.
Yeah. So I can see what's going to happen is our segment's going to air, and then it's going to have a segment of theirs, and Grant's going to go, I don't know how that happened, and you keep your wires from getting crossed. So.
Oh, buddy, I'm going to be keeping my files separate. You know, where
Yeah.
there's going to be no crossover. happening.
So if y'all listen to our show, you'll know that in the Tallahassee market, that T-Spark is one of our sponsors for the show.
Well,
and,
yeah,
and he's a sponsor here at the range and all that. And Travis, I guess, somewhere along the line, he thought it'd be a good idea to get on the radio and talk like us. I don't know, it's a good idea for us to do this, but Travis, good luck.
But,
But
I mean, doesn't he do stuff other than roofs?
Yeah, they do all kinds of
yeah, we don't
construction
talk
now.
about that in public.
I mean, not that kind of stuff I do. I mean,
I don't think I've ever seen a picture of him trying to make love to a palm tree in an island with a drink in his hand, like I've seen you.
I am going to Mexico on Tuesday.
Did you get splinters wrapping your leg around that tree? That's what I want to know.
No,
Did
I
the
was-
palm trees have splinters?
I was pretty oiled up by the time I got on that.
Bet you were, inside and out.
And that was rum. That was in the Bahamas. This is Mexico. This is tequila.
Tequila.
Oh boy.
I don't know what's going
I
to
ain't
happen
allowed.
there.
I ain't allowed to have that.
I mellowed when I drank tequila. Earlier in my life, if I drank tequila, I was trying to fight somebody. Now it's not that way anymore. I don't have any inclination to try to fight anybody anymore.
I'm forbidden.
I know that when in law school once, when I was dating my wife, she got a hold of some tequila and tried to pay the bar tab with a Parisian card.
I remember that store.
Yeah. They wouldn't take it. She couldn't understand why. It was
Tequila.
I knew then that was the woman of my. I need to
It'll make your clothes. It'll make your clothes fall off according to that country music song.
It does. I mean,
man.
not that. I didn't mean to say that, but I mean,
Lord have mercy. Straight to the
Straight to the
basement.
liquor.
Straight to the basement.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm glad nothing's changed around here.
Well, did you take the opportunity to listen to any of these shows while you were
I
gone?
did. I caught some here and there.
And you were shaking your head going,
and I'm
my
like,
God, that's terrible.
Yeah, they're doing great. They're doing fine.
You hear echo in the background and the wrong microphones and Lord, just don't watch the YouTube stuff, the videos. Like you'll see these three guys over here in the corner nodding their head, and I'm talking off camera, and I had it set up. I couldn't remember to push the buttons on the keyboard, and it's just too much. It's too much.
And then
I don't multitask.
I had to look like down at my hands because every time I'd look up, he thought
Quit
I was
looking at the camera or quit looking at the timer.
the side eye.
Yeah, and then he'd get distracted.
Well, no,
It'd be
'cause
like
you
a
did-
chicken running across the road.
Well, you didn't just look at the timer. You looked, and you'd like crane your neck over there, and you
Well, I
get
couldn't
this,
see
and you would
'cause you're
get
in the
this
way.
look on your face like something had happened. So we teach this little drill for years, have been in personal defense, and talk about so you're somewhere and somebody pulls a gun or a knife on you, and you've got a weapon on you, a firearm on you, but you can't get to it because you can't beat somebody to the draw when they've already drawn, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta. So we call it the comply, distract, react. And so somebody pulls a gun on you, pointing a gun at you. You're being robbed, and you got a gun. Well, how do you get to that gun and draw it fast enough to be able to engage them without getting shot doing it? Because if you make a movement towards where you would normally keep a gun, there's actually
gonna pull the
the
trigger.
OODA loop: observe, orientation, decision, and action. They're ahead of you in the OODA loop. And so we did comply. You comply. You look. You raise your hands. You surrender. You are like, okay, please don't hurt me. I'll give you whatever. You can have what you want. Hold on, let me get it for you. And that's comply. And then you look past them. Because if you look over somebody's shoulder enough, and you're paying attention to what's beyond them, they're eventually going to look behind them. Especially if it's somebody trying to commit a crime and they're worried about getting caught and the law coming up, they're going to look over their shoulder and see what it is you're looking at. Okay, so that's the distract part, and you actually go. Once you're reaching, you say, okay, fine, I'll give you my money, I'll give you whatever. You reach, and once you get your hand on your gun and you're looking past them, and you get a surprised look on your face and go, officer, he's got a gun, or something to distract them. Is that other guy with a shotgun with you, or something? You come up with something, and when they turn and look, okay, that's the distract part. And the react part is when you step off line, so you're not where they expect you to be when they turn around and realize you was pulling their leg. The react part is to step off line and to shoot them until they are no longer a problem. So you don't draw your weapon until they look away. But in that moment, that split second that they look away to see if there's something over there, that's your moment to react. So comply, distract, react. Well, Fred, you were doing a great job of distracting me the whole time by looking over my shoulder.
Did you think there was a guy with a gun behind you?
No, but there was something going on, and as many times. Now you waited. You didn't do that right after
cool.
Grant wasn't in here. You waited until I had screwed up a couple of shows, and I ran over. We talked over the deadline a couple times, and Grant, you know this. I can go eliminate all the ums and the ahs and the breaths and the blank times and the downtime. And then, the like that right there where I just stuttered a little bit, I go in there and I take all that out. I sounded much better while you were gone because I took all that out of the show. I went through it, and I left JD's
sorry,
in.
everyone. We're reverting to our default settings.
Yeah.
Got me sounding like RFK.
And if I really had to cut
As long as you don't start sounding like Pelosi, we're good.
He drinks like Pelosi.
They do have something in common. A lot, probably.
It ain't that husband, I can tell you that.
We'll be right back. And we're back.
Yeah.
So JD was making this racket on the break over here.
That's not a racket. That's an old radio sound effect. The way that they would do this sounds like a campfire.
It does kind of sound like a campfire, doesn't it? Yeah. It sounds like when I listen. I put on my my little earphones at night, and, I'm listening to my help me go to sleep, not listen to the wife snore sounds.
Rainstorm.
You got one of those?
And so last night, as a matter of fact, I got a new phone. I can't get everything figured out, and I lost all the settings. And the one that I was listening to last night was a rain shower.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have the thunder, because the thunder bothers me, because I hear the thunder and I'm thinking, crap, the dogs are fixing to start barking. They're going to start scratching at the thing, or was it, did they finally start the artillery attack on us, and Cuba coming? So I don't do the thunderstorm, but the rain. And the whole time I'm thinking, man, it's raining outside. I'm half asleep. I get up in the morning and look outside. It's dry, and I go, how did it get so dry so quick? It rained all night.
I never envisioned you as one of these dudes who listens to the babbling brook to go to sleep. I mean,
I listen to whatever sound I can.
So I don't. So I
don't hear.
That's right.
Do you have like one of those little
now, I
masks
snore
that you
too.
put over your eyes and maybe
no, but I
get like mud and put it on your face.
But next to me in the bed is my beautiful wife that I love more than life itself. That tends to occasionally make a very petite. And I can't sleep through that. Right. And so now I know I probably do it too.
Yep.
She says I do. I did wake myself up a couple times, so I'm like, okay, that was me. I'm pretty sure. But mine is very attractive. She loves it. Hers, on the other hand, sometimes it
I can tell you how to fix that.
I have a hard time. I have another bedroom, but I ain't getting out of it.
No,
we both claim that one. So
I did this to my wife last night.
I don't want to know what you did to your wife last night, Fred.
No, it's okay. I mean,
you kick her?
No, you don't kick her.
I have to be careful, because I bruise my wife when I kick her in her sleep.
No, if I did that, she'd wake up and whip my. But no, you wait till they go to sleep and you get one of those like industrial strength breathe right things and slap it on her nose. And you put it on just right, it'll stop the snoring.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And she wakes up.
I like the music stuff. That stuff.
I've got a
good.
sound machine.
Yeah.
That I have had since I was 18 years old, right out of high school when I first started working midnight shift.
Does it play the Bee Gees or what?
No, it's just little. It's this little device. It's a little round thing, plugs into the wall, got a motor on it, and it's just got a fan inside of a shroud, and it sits there and goes whoosh all night long. Yep. And I have been using that thing since I was 18 years old. So it's 40 years, going on 40 years old. 40 years, going on 40 years old that I've been using this thing, and it's to the point where I have to take it with me on vacation. It's got to
take
go.
that thing with you.
Yeah, sometime we do. It definitely. My wife's got something on her phone that she does that kind of makes a little bit of noise, but I don't know. I have a hard time sleeping without it. But it just keeps on running. That's what kills me. You turn it on and it keeps going, and they got to be out of business, because it ain't like you're going. I would buy another one if it quit.
That thing tears up, JD. You got to get it fixed.
I'm gonna have to get on eBay and try to find a vintage one to buy. It's called a Sleep Mate, and it's
that's cool.
I just don't do that.
Drowns out the noise going on in my head.
We play Fall Asleep in Under 3 Minutes through Spotify, and I'm gonna tell you, I got it going through Alexa. I come in there and say, Alexa, fall asleep in under 3 minutes. Start.
You just
playing.
turn somebody's radio off. I'm just saying.
Oh, but it works. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I got to. My brain doesn't shut off, and I have a really hard time going to sleep at night. So I sit there on the phone watching stuff and doing it, and I get to where I'm starting. So I put my phone over there on the little wireless charger now, and I got these. I forget what version it is, but it's the bone induction wrap around the back of your head.
Yep,
I can sleep with it on. Yeah,
really.
I can sleep with that on, and so I never wear it during the daytime. I just plug it in every morning. I get up to go brush my teeth. I plug it in, charge it, and at night when I go to bed, I put it on my head. And Now it'd be easy to sneak up on me at night because all I'm listening to is, and it's. And there's all, you see it on TV advertising the green noise and the brown noise. And you got to be careful about the brown noise.
Yeah,
I'd be scared to
make
do
sure
the brown
it's just noise.
What's the brown noise do?
There's the deep brown noise.
Oh,
Layered
I don't
brown
know.
I'm
noise.
scared of the brown noise. Kind of like wearing the brown pants.
Yeah.
It's like,
But
Who
but
the
it's
hell
just-
would market a brown noise?
Well, it's on TV, and actually that's the one I kind of like because it's a deeper noise.
I
It's
bet
not-
it is
it's
a
not
deep
high-
noise.
But I can't hear high pitched sounds, so
summoning the ancestors.
Don't want to fall asleep to Metallica.
Be like one of them things from Australia, whatever that instrument is that the
what is that thing
Aborigine
called? Diggeridoo or something. like that.
Diggeridoo or
Is that
something.
what it is?
Yeah,
Look at that.
Yeah, that's it.
Trivia. That's
Look
Well,
at you.
is that the one that the Crocodile Dundee dude flies around to?
no, it's
Yeah,
it's
that's a sound making thing too. This is some guy. I don't. Yeah, I'm
it
not
kind of makes a
Australian.
whir sound. It's making.
I never
it's
did
a sound
understand
effect
why
show
he
today.
did
It's
that.
so
The Crocodile Dundee guy flying that thing around his head. What did that do?
Y'all
was-
play anything at your
Well,
house?
like he was
in
calling
the movie,
somebody.
it got a bunch of fruit bats to wake up and fly in
oh
or something.
yeah.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, that's what
I
happened
just
in the
remember
movie. if
seeing
you're
him
asking.
doing that, and I was like,
He was
why is
kind of like
doing
Called the fruit bats to
Aquaman,
come-
but for the
The
Batman.
Australian wildlife called all the bats in.
So, Fred, you listen to nothing. You just go straight
that? Yeah,
to
I
sleep.
just I go to sleep.
Well,
Now,
you're-
I do.
you're an aberration.
I do have a problem sleepwalking.
Oh, well, God, I ain't doing that.
That's called the drunk staggers.
Okay.
No, it's without fail, about almost every night, about 4:00 in the morning, I'll go walking into the refrigerator, start grabbing something out of there to eat. Don't remember it, don't know what I ate. One night, wife left a half can of dog food in there and ate that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Why
Barking
does
the
that
next-
not surprise me?
As long as you don't lay on the side of the road after that and start cleaning yourself, you'll be all right.
She probably did that on purpose, Fred. I mean, because why else would you leave a half a can of dog food in the refrigerator?
Can't you just see Fred sitting on the side of the road in his neighborhood licking himself, like a dog after he eats dog food?
I was barking out orders the next day. I can tell you that.
Get run over by a car, get all skin up.
What kind of dog do you have?
Well, I've got an English cream retriever.
What?
English cream. It looks like a yellow lab. It's an English cream
Okay.
retriever. It's
Okay.
actually a fat dog.
Does it not eat a whole can of dog food?
Oh no, it eats a lot. But then we have the little yip dogs, the little Yorkie. My
Oh,
wife's dogs.
okay, yeah.
The Yorkie, Yorkshire.
That's
Terriers.
why there was a partial can in there.
Yeah, and so it was Mighty Dog.
So she probably feeds them good if they're those kinds of dogs. They
But
probably
she
get
just
good.
got this new stuff called the farmer's dog stuff.
Oh yeah, that's
It's-
almost like people food. You
Yeah.
can eat that. You'll be all right.
Yeah. So it comes in this little thing you keep in a freezer.
Just telling you, he gonna get run over. He gonna get run over on the side of the
Hey,
street.
he gonna come in and start sniffing. Oh boy!
They're gonna come in here. They're gonna come in here and try to hump somebody's leg.
Oh, boy. Like he did that tree down there.
Get that tree.
Y'all are horrible. Yeah, we always go there. We always go there.
I didn't
gotta-
take us there. I mean, that was not me. That I don't know what to say here. I got nothing.
Finally,
Lord have mercy.
you've been on the show how long? We finally got him to the point where
I
he just can't talk.
I just,
And we didn't even have to talk about bird poop or nothing.
We've had a breakthrough. He ain't gagging. He ain't gagging even.
It's not-
It's just. He's speechless. We have left.
I don't
Fred
know what to
speechless.
say. How much longer do I break?
Got 3 more minutes to pick on Fred. Hey, I talked to Casey Smith on via text yesterday. He about 2 weeks from now. We're gonna have him and another fellow on the show to talk about about the bear hunting. We talked about bear hunting last week, whenever the heck it was, last show. They want to come in and kind of explain what they're doing, and they're the I'm probably going to say it wrong. The Dog Hunters Association, the local North Florida Dog Hunters Association, just talking
They have
about
an association
hunting.
for that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
That's a
and
yeah,
it's there's still, this is one of the few places in the country where people still run hound dogs.
They run them in Wakulla all the time.
Right, but this general area here, and there's a few places down in South Florida, and a few places up in like South Carolina, a few sporadically, but it's almost a lost tradition way of hunting. I mean, that was the way everybody hunted.
It used to be
a big
regular. I mean, and
everybody.
even
I grew up running dogs.
Yeah, down where I'm at, they run dogs all the time, and everybody had a big old dog box on their truck, and they had a seat up there, and the platforms, and they'd run around, and you didn't want to be on the dirt roads during certain times of the year, because next thing you know, I mean, on the county roads and running across all kinds of property. Now it's kind of relegated to large places like Casey and them have access to. They've got large pieces of property, and they lease out huge swaths of property to be able to do that stuff.
And it's gotten super high tech as well. You talk about high tech rednecks. It has gotten high tech.
High tech dogs.
No, the tracking GPS tracking collars, and they're sitting there looking at a map and can see where their dogs are and which way they're going, and that.
Wow.
So it's a cool sport though, and it's really more about more of a social, almost as much, if not more, of a social event as it is actual
kind of
effective
quail
hunting.
hunting,
Quail hunter dove hunting.
It's the civilian version of us chasing
bad
guys.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
that's exactly what it is, and that's
people talking about you want to go duck? No,
I've done that. I've done that all week. I'm ready for a day off.
I will tell you, anytime I want to go, about twice a week in Jackson County, the sheriff's office canine unit's out on somebody that has run from them. All I got to do is turn on the radio and tell the sheriff, "Hey, I want to come play." I go out there and do it right now, but. The only difference is you just can't shoot them when they run across the road.
Well, it depends.
Well, it's not. Anyway, we'll be right back. And we're back.
Good Lord.
Well, y'all talked for 10 minutes.
I know.
Break, and now that's back, and you just kind of
I got to go.
Well, that was an interesting
conversation. I'm headed to Alabama as soon as we get off the. I'll be driving through Dothan here.
Alabama?
Yeah, I'll be driving through Dothan on my way to Troy in about.
You gonna go through or around? You gonna take the circle?
I'll hit the circle. I'll take 84 over and hit the circle.
Look out for the construction. I don't know where it's at this way, but there's always construction on the circle in Dothan. I mean, I don't know that they've ever. I don't know when they started on that thing, but they ain't never finished it. I can tell you that.
Well, it's gotten bigger because I remember when it was 2 lanes all the way around.
Well, it's wider.
Troy's, let's see.
Troy's north of Dothan, almost due north.
It's on 231.
It's on 231, the other side of Ozark.
Okay, yeah, all right. That's right. I got a good friend that lives in Ozark.
I go back. The thing, growing up listening to the radio and watching TV out of Dothan was just helped define me for who I am. I mean, everything from wrestling to the
Hey, Howard, what you doing up
Hey,
there?
Howard, what you doing up there? I'm tearing down these prices.
Getting down these low prices.
And they're still there.
Yeah.
They're still there. I went in there one day.
Red Holland.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on in, Satellite. Come on in out there with a number 3 wash tub,
What?
There's a guy named Red Holland that had a TV show on WTVY out of Dothan. And, he was Fishing with Red. And
There was a song with that, too.
He did like a morning show. He'd go fishing on fishing trips, local fishing trips around here in Apalachicola River, Lake Seminole, wherever. He was just a card. He was just funny, but he'd go out and catch fish or whatever, and he'd do commercials for people, for sponsors or whatever. And he was back then. Everybody, if you lived out in the middle of nowhere, you had a big old satellite dish in your yard if you wanted to watch more than 2 channels. And he was advertising for some satellite company, and he gets a wash tub out there, and he's trying to pick up the satellite signal with that big old galvanized steel wash tub. It was a commercial that I remember, just like the one Charlie and I were talking about with the appliance store, and locally owned Howard.
We had one when I was growing, a satellite, because we were out at the sticks.
Right.
Howard runs that business.
And
Yeah,
I
I'm sure
went
he
in
probably
there.
does.
He was there.
He's probably a little bit older than us, but
He's
I mean, the satellite dish that we had.
He was there last time I was
almost
in
as big
there.
as this room. I mean, it was.
oh yeah, they're huge, big wire mesh satellite
Yeah.
dishes.
I still got skeletons of those things. They're somewhere back of the house, but I think I've run over it with a tractor a few times. Where it was up there for years after it got the DirecTV and all that stuff, and that thing's just sat out there. And I'm like, Daddy, why don't you take that thing down? Well, I don't know. It was
Probably
concreted
could
in.
turn it upside down and put a tarp over it and make a nice little gazebo out of it.
Now this one became structure in a lake for fish.
That'll work too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that'll work too.
I think I finally buried it with the bulldozer one day. It was along with a bunch of other stuff. There's a lot of stuff. There's whole houses buried out there on the farm now where I got tired of looking at it and just we're gonna dig a hole, push it down, set it on fire. I don't know how legal it was, but it was what it was. I'm out there with a fire hose and a 500-gallon water tank, making sure it didn't get away.
We've come a long way with TV these days.
Yeah, it's I mean now it's so fast. You got so many. When I moved back to Mariana out on the farm, we were one house past where the slow internet on the phone line was. So we can't get you internet. And my daddy's house was the last house on the line, and it was like, remember when was
Slightly better than dial-up.
It wasn't much better because all the stuff takes so much now. You know, Ann could barely play solitaire on the internet. I mean, that's check her email, take 5 minutes, and then T-Mobile came out with some stuff. We were working on that. Verizon stuff was slow. Now Verizon's got a 5G tower. I can see it out the back, across the tree line, across the river, over off the next highway. I can see the 5G tower. And then Starlink, and Starlink is the bomb.
Yeah,
if you out
that's
in
what I heard.
Starlink
Sure
is
is.
the bomb. And but now there's so many different versions. I got a new phone not long ago, and they're like, "Hey, we've got 5G at your house." And I said, "Well, you had crappy 3, 4G when I bought the Starlink." Oh, you got Starlink. Another guy, "Hey, does he want to get the 5G internet unlimited?" And he goes, "He's got Starlink." Oh, never mind. So even they acknowledge. That
Yep.
it's just that good. Plus, when the power goes down, those towers might not last but a few days, but the satellite's still going to be up there till the Chinese bomb it. And we're back.
There.
So, what we gonna do? What are you gonna talk about? See, folks, we spend so much time preparing for our show. And,
Well, there's
occasionally we have to look down here
I'll
and
tell
check
you
the
this:
notes.
there's a whole bunch of stuff in the next few months that's going to be kind of exciting for the gun industry. If you want to hear about that, so
let's talk about this is a show about that.
About a month from now, Florida is going to take away. There'll be no sales tax on firearms, accessories. That means scopes, ammunition, firearms, all that stuff will be tax free through December.
So Dove shells are tax free.
Is that ammunition free?
Yeah, that's ammunition.
All right, then.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm just being more
All
specific. I'm just
Ammunition, firearms, gun
And
accessories.
What's
was that
the-
for how long?
Through December 31st.
So when's that
Good.
start?
September 8th or 13th. I can't remember. Sometime in the middle of September.
So like 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Guns.
Have
are-
they done this
Guns.
before?
No, they
Guns.
never have. They tried to do it earlier in the year, and I'm kind of glad they didn't. They were going to do it in June, but this makes more sense right before hunting season.
Well, our business definitely picks up. We're in the summer slowdown time right now. Things
Yeah.
are a little slow. Not so much on the range as far as people coming out, but
My wife's
as far
gonna
as
get all
buying
kind of
guns and
shotguns for
stuff.
Christmas.
There you go.
and then January 1 is the suppressor $200 tax stamp on suppressors goes away federally. That's a federal tax that goes away.
Save you $200 on.
So
suppressor.
you can buy a suppressor in Florida from the middle of September to the end of December, and hold on to it, and don't file your paperwork until January.
We'll hold on to it.
We'll hold on to it. Yeah, we have to hold on to it.
We'll store
But
it
we
for
can
you.
hold on to it,
So
store
yeah,
it.
that's the way to do it. So you buy it in December and then
Yeah, or whenever. Now,
Well,
I
the
wouldn't
closer it
recommend
gets-
waiting until
yeah.
December, to be very honest with you, because the supply is already
so
drying
buy it,
up.
Okay, buy it in September.
So here's the way it works: is they form three of
The
suppressor to
manufacturer-
us.
yep, the manufacturer
Okay, it comes in.
distributor.
It sits on our SOT, our occupational tax, our license. It sits here in the house. You can pay for it, but it stays here until you file and get your tax stamp back. Which it's not really a tax stamp anymore. I don't know what they're going to call it anymore. But normally you would pay the $200 to ATF, and then once that tax stamp was issued, then you can come in and you can pick up your suppressor and you can take it home with you. In the meantime, it stays here. Now, if you pay for it now, the way it is now, if you pay for it, we hang on to it, and then in January you file for your tax stamp, which will now no longer cost you $200, but you won't have to pay the sales tax from September to December, so you don't have to pay the 7.5% sales tax,
savings.
and then
So that
you don't have to pay the
$1,000
$200.
suppressor
So a $1,000 suppressor is going to be $1,000,
Yeah, but I mean,
and then instead of being almost $1,300, it's going to be $1,000.
yeah, but say I spent a total of $1,000 on a suppressor a couple of years ago. $200 of that was tax, and then 7.5% of whatever it was sales tax. So I just saved
$300.
$300.
Yeah.
So it makes it more affordable. Now, there's people that want them this hunting season.
If you
just
want
come
it for
on in
hunting
and pay
season,
the
this ain't,
$200.
none of this is liable to help you if you except if you pay the tax stamp. We've been seeing tax stamp. We're still selling suppressors right now, and people that want them for hunting season are still going through the process, paying the $200 because they want to hunt with them this hunting season.
Right, and it's
get them
fast.
on the gun.
And there are people
we're
getting
seeing
them
12-hour, 12
Yes.
What?
Yes.
7-8 hour returns now.
If you would have told me that like 4 years ago,
When it was
I would
a
have
year.
thought you were on the moon.
You're waiting a year. Now it's it's shorter than the 3-day wait if you don't have a permit in Florida to
it
get a
takes
gun.
longer.
And this is in Alabama too, folks. This turnaround on the suppressors is happening almost immediately.
Yeah, and it's one I'm assuming is because they're probably slack right now because people are waiting until January that want to wait. But two, they have automated the process, so it's no longer assigned to an investigator that it sits on their desk for however long or whatever. It is an automated process now because everything's digital, everything's filed digitally, the fingerprints are digital, the form is digital, everything. So it's probably just running through an algorithm, and they're doing a background
If you've already been
check.
approved for one or two of them, you ain't gonna have much.
Yeah,
problem.
so I recently did one on my trust that has me and my wife on it. So anytime I buy a suppressor, both of us are getting a background check done and all this stuff. And I've had them at 11 or 12 months, and then I did one with the automated system. It was about 3 months, and then the last one I did was 11 days.
Really?
Which is just like, holy cow, 11 days.
Wow.
And that's with the last name of Johnson. And that honestly was some of the problem, is that how many people with my exact name exist in the country. Well, I have the three most common names in the English-speaking world: John, David, and Johnson. So, so Smiths and Johnson, Smiths, Johnsons, and Jones.
Your only competitor.
Yeah, exactly. John Smith and John Jones are my two
Or
big
Michael
competitors.
Williams is.
Yep.
Yeah, but JD has a unique middle name, John David Johnson.
That is so unique, especially for kids born in the '60s and '70s. That David's been on the top of the list of names for boys until Hunter and Trevor and whatever all these other.
I wouldn't name my kid Hunter these days.
Tyler.
I mean, he's just born to be a crackhead. I mean,
What?
Well,
name your kid Hunter.
Yep, Hunter B.
Yeah, Hunter Biden.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
It's talking about over your head.
Well, no, I was trying because I know some people named Hunter, and I'm like, statistically, I think he'd be all right. But you gotta be careful. It's names are signs of the time. Now, my name, on the other hand,
Charlie Brown
came from the funny papers. Literally,
That's really what happened?
Yeah,
They named you after a
was
funny
a joker.
paper?
Daddy was a joker. Charlie Brown. Name him Charlie Brown. The doctor put Charles on the thing, so I'm Charles Brown. Strickland sounds more official, but Charlie Brown. And I grew up with you talking about raising a mean youngin. It's like a boy named Sue. Yeah, it's Charlie Brown. He's a clown. Hey, Charlie, where's Snoopy? Charlie, where's your tune? It's
They
the
pull the
whole
ball out from under you.
I never tried out for a place kicker position.
Just for the record, if I'm ever in a clothing store and I see an adult size version of the yellow shirt with the zigzag black line,
You're gonna buy it.
I am going to buy it for you.
Buy it.
I've been saying that since I've known you. If I ever run across one of them shirts, I'm gonna go ahead and get it.
Yeah. When I first came to Tallahassee to go to FSU Police, I started trying to go by Charles, because I didn't want to get the whole Charlie thing. I gave up after a while, and there's a few people that still, but I tell the story, and it's funny. And Daddy, I know you up there somewhere. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know how I feel
One of
about
these
it.
days.
You know how I feel
Well, I
about
had
it.
a-
Well, Daddy grew up. His name's Kerry, so
Boy named Sue. There
Well,
you go.
yeah, it's Carey, but so many times talking about that Carrie Strickland. Who's that lady? Carrie, is that your mama? No. And then my mama's name is Tony, which can go either way. Because her daddy was Tony, Tony, and she was Toni. Now
like Pat?
my daughters all have I, Dusty, Kelly, Jesse all have an I at the end of it. My mama's name ended with an I. And
That
so,
was
just where we come up with this stuff.
Well, my background check stuff, you talking about running background checks, I used to play a trick on my recruits when I would have a new recruit in the car. I'd teach them how to run the NCIC and operate the computer and stuff, and I'd hand them my driver's license. So here, run my driver's license. And they would run my driver's license. And remember the old when you got a hit on a name or whatever, and you run it, and the computers in our car, the old computer system in our cars would red lights go to flash in the screen to start flashing red, and it beep 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 just go and send out a signal to everybody working, and they're like, "Are you okay?" I had a distant cousin that lived up North Jackson County, and he had the exact same name as me, and about 2 years apart. And he was a bank robber and short enough a bad. He was a for real bad guy. Stayed on. He is deceased at this point, and I think that has made my life easier. But you got a white guy with the same name, date of birth, kind of within a couple of years of each other, and in the same part of the world. An hour away. And that kid would go, well, what's all that? And it was an exercise to say, okay, do you think I'm this guy that's wanted for bank robbery? And he goes, no, probably not. I said, okay, well, how do you figure that out? And I'd make them pull up and compare the criminal
you're too smart
history.
to get caught.
Yeah. I have thought about it. Anyway, how would I get away with that?
We all.
That's where they keep the money. That's why you rob the banks. But I'd make him go through the criminal history and figure out that I wasn't that guy. So anyway, it was a good exercise for a new police officer.
I guess
That's
it
his
was.
story, and he's sticking to it. We'll be right back. And we're back. Woo! You talking about a NSF? What is it? Not safe
Not
for
safe
work.
for work.
Or
Not
now
safe
that's
for
not
work.
safe for wife, because there's some jokes you don't want your wife to hear. Yeah, that was that.
I'd be
segment.
ashamed getting caught telling some of the jokes that I remember and tell sometime when I'm in the certain.
It all started.
There
with
was the first
when
time
I'm around the campfire.
the first time I was exposed to
Gather
that
around,
was,
youngins. We got stories.
You remember the stereos you had at home that was the big old cabinet
Oh, yeah,
with
piece
the
of
lift
furniture.
top lid.
Piece
and,
of-
and it had the
radio
speakers
in there,
it.
and the speakers and the
and it
8-track
was-
tape player.
And 90% of it was just empty air in there. But you'd open it up and there was a record player and there was 8 track. Had the big old knobs on it and stuff, and then the
Radio.
dial went all the way back and forth to tune
Yep.
in the radio station. Well, when we lived down in Dry Creek, Mom and Daddy lived in Uncle Herman's house, was renting from him down there, and that's where I found my first Eagles 8-track that I used to listen to on the tractor, and my first Merle Haggard 8-track and all that. And then I, of course, all their 8-tracks disappeared, went onto the tractor, and was played in the Sparkomatic 8-track player that I had bolted to the roof of that old tractor. And years of dust just destroys them. But that's where I got my taste in music. But also in there
from 8-tracks.
was But
I
also
remember
in
them.
there was a 8-track, and it was trucker humor. Trucker comedy. It was trucker comedy, and it was a picture of a dude with a trucker cap on, and I played that, and I learned some things. I don't think they knew I paid, and the jokes on that thing. I still remember most of them,
Y'all ever heard
but
of
I
Roy
can't
D.
tell
Mercer?
them.
And to think all this
Sharon
started, all this started with a Camaro.
Yep. It was, that was, and I.
I had not heard that Camaro joke before. I'm gonna go Google that guy.
I wonder if there's still any of those old stereos still floating around.
My grandmother had one. It finally, I think the whole thing basically died, and I had to break it down because was cleaning out their house, and I had to tear that thing apart because I couldn't pick it up by myself to get it in the back of pickup truck to haul it off. And it's what you were talking about, all the airspace, and it had that old gold or red fancy looking cloth in front of this Spanish looking,
Yeah, it had a little Spanish looking.
Yeah,
wood
it
thing,
had
and
the
then
same
it
one.
had the little
and a little bitty
mesh.
paper, and a little bitty paper speaker in there.
Yeah, I thought that thing had huge speakers in it, and then you got in there. And I ain't gonna say how I found out what was in it, but I was like the tinker as a kid, and I got it. Yeah, and you're like, well, that's all the speakers in this thing.
Yeah, I still remember the television that my parents had, that we had until it was post, I would say, into the early 80s, after 1981. So when my dad died, I my young life, that was such a pivotal part of my life. My dad died when I was young, and we had an Admiral color television, like a 24-inch color TV.
That's high. That's
and
high
it was
cotton
in
right
this
there.
beautiful piece of furniture, right? But it was one of them. You had two dials and a knob for the. You had a knob for the volume, and you had a UHF VHF dial. There wasn't none of them UHF channels.
And that made a great table to put the next TV on top of.
Yep, that's
It
right.
absolutely did. And I remember my mom and I going and buying a Hitachi TV to replace that one with when it finally died, because it was like one shade of green. You could see some stuff moving around in there, and I said, yeah, I think it's about time. But that TV was like 30 years old when we got rid of it, because they had it long before they got me, and it was a hand-me-down from somebody else.
When your
or whatever.
TV is one of the sturdiest pieces of furniture in the house, that's old school right there.
I
Did you ever do
Got the
the?
antenna on the house with the
Did you ever
motor on it.
on
You
the
turn the
Yeah,
knob and
we had
dial
that
it
on
in.
sitting
Yeah.
on top with a big tower out there, and you'd turn the dial to point it towards Tallahassee or Dothan
Wasn't
Panama
no
City.
microwave in the house back then. It was a cast iron.
I remember
pot
the first
on
one of them
on the
I ever
gas
saw.
stove.
Yeah.
That's right.
A Mana radar range.
Yeah.
The first one of them I ever saw at my grandparents' house. Boy, you could blow a hot dog up. I used to just have all kind of fun just torturing hot dog. You put a hot dog in there and just turn it on for 10 seconds. I wonder what's going to happen if you put it on for 2 minutes. It splatter hot dog all over the inside. Sit there and watch it. Probably got irradiated like nobody. It probably was wrong with me.
Did you ever do the send a penny in and get 8 tracks, and then they get you on the hook?
Oh, the Columbia record. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they tried to enforce. That's when I started thinking about going into law, because they
Try to make you buy something.
Yeah, they
Talk
tr-
to Paul today.
Yeah, they tried to enforce a contract. I wrote them a letter back, said you can't enforce a contract in minor in the state of Florida, and got at them. So.
How much time we got?
How much time we got
Time
left?
for him to
He's
talk
got
about
some fishing stuff over
Got
there.
5 minutes. Let's talk about
we
fishing.
got some time.
All right.
They are biting. This week it's been, with this rain, and cooled the water down. The water temperature this morning was 80 degrees.
Really?
And they were biting. We caught 10 or 11 this morning in like an hour and a half. They were chewing. And
Top water? Top
Yes.
water. You brought
top
some
water.
visual
I
aids
brought
this time?
some. Yes, I think we're going to be able to have them.
And
I've got several baits. Now, Charlie, I want to make sure I explain this so the radio
Okay,
people
hold
can
them up
hear.
with that camera over there, so the
right, I'm gonna hold these
please
up.
do that.
If I can get them.
Watch them hooks; they're sharp.
Now to go through your finger.
that's a lot of.
This-
Yeah, give it to Fred.
Now,
then.
JD, I want help me explain this. Now, you know what this is. This is what they call a spook. Old school. Talk
Zara
about old
spook.
school stuff. Old Zara spook. This is actually one made by 6 Cents. This is called a Magnum catwalk. That thing, when you're working it back and forth to walk the dog action on it, as big as it is, it'll blow a lot of water around it, but it'll pull the fish up like in Spring Creek, up from 17,
That thing's
18.
about what?
Thing's huge.
Yeah, that's
And then
Six-
this one right here is just a little bit smaller. And I like to throw them based on what
hold it. Yeah, put it over there in front of the camera. You
Okay.
holding it up for us?
right.
I know what it looks like.
you see it? There we go. But I want the radio folks to, I think most people listening
So
know what a
describe
Zara
them.
spook is. But this is it's a
So it looks like he cut the end off a broom handle and put some hooks on it. Is what it looks like. I mean, if
Exactly.
that's they used to do that. I've seen my granddaddy take a broom handle, cut the end of it off, put screw hooks in it, screw an
And
eye
catch
in
a
the end
bass
of it,
on it.
paint it red and white.
Catch a bass on it.
It's shaped like a fish.
yeah, shapes like a fish, look like a cigar.
Yeah, it's shaped like something.
And here's another one that's called a
Whoppa ploppa.
sometimes they prefer Magnum sized ones, and sometimes them bass want the more normal.
That's what I hear.
Like Fred, that's right. But if you notice right here,
I mean,
this is a
you don't have to have
Whopper
like, the biggest.
plopper. All thing we added to it was this fin right here. when he reeled this thing back through the water, it
call it a
draws
whopper popper, huh?
Whopper plopper. It draws a commotion, and them big bass will hit that thing too.
Yes, sir.
Very good bass.
Yeah.
Especially schooling fish.
You're gonna
And that's right. I've been seeing the fish schooling for the last 2 or 3 weeks now. They first started, I was catching little ones, pound and a halfers, and then in the last 10 days, I started getting the bigger fish starting to school.
Yeah.
And the brim are still bedding up on Lake Seminole. The shell crack are still bedding, and they're bedding on Lake Talcott.
Here, I got a question for you, Paul.
Okay.
And I know you can smell a fish bed. I can smell a fish bed. Why? Why does what is happening? Yeah, I mean, you know what? But if you know you're riding around and you start smelling a certain smell,
Yes.
there is a very distinctive smell to a brim bed or whatever.
Yes.
Is it
There's
just
a
the chemicals that they're putting off when they're all the
Yep.
eggs and the
That's
whatever else?
that's
that
exactly.
that-
Usually
that's
you won't-
coming
you
to the
wanted to know
top.
what causes
you won't
the smell.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here's what happens. Because I've been on the water and watch the smells come in and make a bed and watch it grow. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't smell nothing. Well, oh man, I was with. He says, son, you're not. They're males.
Okay,
He
so
said,
it's the
now,
eggs
you
you're
wait,
smelling.
you come back a couple days. They're making the beds. When the females come in, you'll smell them.
So the
exactly what
females are
happens.
making a smell.
And I've learned, when shad's got a unique smell, bass have a unique smell. You can kind of learn over time what type of fish are bedding.
Yep. And these baits work, and a lot of time these top water baits we're talking about, some of them make more racket and more disturbance
right.
on the top of the water than others. And sometimes the bass want something with a real low amount of disturbance, and sometimes they want something that make a lot of noise, like
That's
a popper or double, like a torpedo or something that's got 2 spinners on it that's kicking water everywhere, and it just
That's like this
So I
bait
got a
right
question
here.
for you.
It's got two. We're about to
Is
get
there a
myself-
scent that you could put on one of these that would attract bass?
Maybe that stuff. Maybe the juice.
yeah, some of the different stuff. They'll leave an oil trail. There's some.
But no, the action of it draws it to them.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm wondering if you had action and scent.
Yeah.
Probably getting the scent to stick to a hard plastic bait is
Yeah.
going to be not.
There
not
is
real
kind
good.
that they make now, Jay, that you can kind of
A gel that you can paint on there. or
paint it
something.
on there, but usually this is drawing them to it.
Yep, it's all about the disturbance in the water and the noise.
I've done it with flies.
But I
Yeah.
want to let people know too, going into the August, that any trips we're doing in the afternoon or in the mornings, we're doing a kind of a discounted rate for August as we go into the fall. So just give me a call at 850-264-7534.
All right.
Take you fishing.
There you go. There you go.
Have you ever threw one of them, Fred?
What, a Magnum?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Some of them prefer. You got a trick worm, you got a Magnum trick worm. Have you ever?
That's what
Sure
I
you
have.
do.
Is the
Yep.
Magnum trick
I'm gonna
worm.
bring them next week.
Okay.
Well, bigger worms, and I had somebody, a guy, explain this. Bigger worms look better to fish later in the year because
That's
the
right, right now.
snakes and the worms have been
That's
growing
right,
all
exactly.
summer.
That's
so they
exactly
work better
what's
later in the
happening.
year.
Didn't know that.
That's
We
what
got to get this show with so I can laugh.
Wait,
All right,
they-
then.
All right, we'll see y'all next time.